Hello viewers. Now in this lecture I would like to tell you about the concentration of the urine, mechanism of the concentration of the urine. That is, it is by the mechanism called as counter current mechanism. I told you already that the flow of filtrate in the loop of Henle's, that is in the descending one. Here this is permeable to water and impermeable to salt, whereas this ascending limb of loop of Henle's, it is permeable to salt and impermeable to water. Therefore, these PCT and DCT present in the cortex, and the flow of filtrate in both the limbs, it is opposite to each other. The flow of filtrate in both the limbs, that is in the descending limb and the ascending loop of Henle's, is opposite to each other, as well as the capillaries surrounding the nephron or the tubular part of the nephron. In them there is the flow of blood that is also in opposite direction. So you can say that here the filtrate goes down, that is from cortex till the inner medullary area, and then coming up from the ascending thin segment and the ascending thick segment of loop of Henle's, and then again coming to the DCT, that is in the cortex. So therefore the main aim of the loop of Henle's as well as the vasa recta, I told you, they are the parallel capillaries surrounding the loop of Henle's. So the loop of Henle's and the vasa recta, as well as the counter current mechanism that increases the concentration. So the proximity between the loop of Henle's, vasa recta, and the as well as the counter current, that increases the osmolality in the inner medullary area or the inner medullary interstitium. I am repeating, the proximity between loop of Henle's, vasa recta, and the counter current mechanism between them, that increases the osmolality in the inner medullary interstitium. Therefore, it becomes concentrated, the filtrate becomes concentrated, that is, it reaches from 300 milliosmol per liter to 1200 milliosmoles per liter. That is, in the cortex it is 300, in the cortex it is 300, then it reaches to 600, then 900, and the inner medullary region it is 1200. Again, then when coming up, that means it becomes now 1100, and then 900, 600, and again 300 milliosmoles per liter. So this way the urine, or you can say the filtrate, becomes concentrated, and the urea, which is some amount of the urea, enters into this ascending loop of Henle's, that is now again received by the that is again released out, and then it is from the CD it is released out into the interstitium. So you can say that the gradient it is caused by the NaCl and the urea. So the gradient for it is caused by NaCl and the urea, and therefore I told you that the major role in the major role of the loop of Henle's and the vasa recta, it is that the proximity between the Henle's loop and the vasa recta as well as the counter current between them, that increases the osmolality. It increases, main aim is to increase the osmolality in the inner medullary interstitium. So therefore it reaches from 300, I told you, it reaches from 300 milliosmoles per liter to 1200 milliosmoles per liter, thereby making the filtrate concentrated. Now this process of this concentration, increasing the concentration, or you can say the GFR rate, I told you already, that is glomerular filtration rate. So glomerular filtration rate, that is whole solely it is regulated by hormones. It is whole solely regulated by hormones. So there is you can say it is all multi-hormonal process. It is all multi-hormonal process. So there are various hormones which help in the maintaining the osmolarity GFR rate, that means maintenance of the blood volume as well as the blood fluids, that is all maintained by the ADH, by the hypothalamus. ADH means vasopressin. ADH, another name of ADH is vasopressin. So it is released from the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus releases actually from the posterior pituitary. And then another very important hormone, that is renin. So I already told you about the JGA cell. So when there is a fall in the blood pressure, or you can say the blood volume, so in the afferent arterioles, so when there is fall in the blood pressure or decrease in the blood volume in the afferent arteriole, that moment the renin hormone is released from the kidney from these JGA cells. JGA cells are here, I told you. JGA cells are located between the afferent and the efferent arteriole, and where the distal convoluted tubule takes a turn. So I am repeating, JGA cells are juxtaglomerular apparatus. They are located between the afferent and the efferent arteriole, and the DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule, takes a turn. So these specialized cells called juxtaglomerular cells, they release a hormone called as renin. This renin converts a peptide hormone, that is angiotensinogen, into angiotensin first and then into angiotensin second. This angiotensin second, it acts as a powerful vasoconstrictor. It acts as a powerful vasoconstrictor, and it constricts the blood vessel, thereby raises the blood volume or increases the blood pressure. So this is termed as renin angiotensinogen aldosterone system, or RAAS system. R means renin and A means angiotensinogen, and another A means aldosterone, and S means system. So this blood pressure, it is maintained, it is also maintained because this angiotensin 2, it also stimulates the adrenal cortex. It also stimulates the adrenal cortex area, and there is a release of another hormone called aldosterone. So this aldosterone increases the permeability of the NaCl, and therefore this more and more NaCl enters, and therefore the blood pressure is raised. So it increases the permeability here in the DCT, and therefore the blood pressure is increased. Now if the blood pressure is increased, then it might harm the various parts, and it will again harm the body. So to check the increase in the blood pressure or increase in the blood volume, there is another hormone which is termed as ANF. It is atrial natriuretic factor. It is termed as ANF in short. So full form of ANF is atrial natriuretic factor. It is to check the high blood pressure, or it help in when the blood flow, I told you, when there is low blood pressure or when there is decrease in the blood flow, then this angiotensinogen 2, it constricts the blood vessel, thereby raises the blood pressure. To check the high blood pressure, there is this another hormone known as atrial natriuretic factor. It is secreted from the atrium of the heart. It is released from the atrium of the heart. This help in lowering the blood pressure. This help in lowering the blood pressure, and therefore it's showing a good check on the angiotensinogen, and therefore the blood volume is lowered. And another I told you, that is ADH hormone. ADH hormone, actually this is present, it is released by the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus triggers the posterior pituitary. So when our body is running with the shortage of water, this ADH or the antidiuretic hormone, it is also termed as vasopressin. This is released by the osmoreceptor cells by the posterior pituitary gland. So that moment it increases the permeability in the PCT and DCT. So more and more amount of water is reabsorbed, and that moment the urine becomes concentrated. So the urine excreted at this moment is hypotonic, and when our body is running with immense of water, that moment ADH secretion, the osmoreceptor cells they do not get stimulated, and therefore the signal is not the hypothalamus gives the signals to suppress the ADH, and therefore the negative feedback is done, and this ADH is suppressed and we secrete hypotonic urine. Thank you.